guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright's Attorney Trials and Tribulations. In the last episode, we continued on with the investigation of Recipe for Turnabout. We broke Victor Kudo and Jean Armstrong's Cyclox and found out that Victor Kudo is a freaking perv, and also that John Armstrong steals from his customers, and he was, an ex-criminal. And that day he tried to steal a lottery ticket from the victim. But yeah, now we're gonna find out a little bit more today in the trial. Let's get going. January 7th, 9:48 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1. Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. A scout's honor. Detective Gumshoe! Are you doing all right? How you feeling? As if you need to ask either question, sir. Don't let him get you down, Maggey. And don't forget to eat well, okay? Roger. And you! Yes? You better square this case away, got it, pal? Maggey's innocent, you hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. I think he's serious. Hey, Detective, you're on our side for once, right? Yep. So you'll be able to help Maggey out, right? Really? Can you, sir? Of course. I got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If I say something that doesn't mesh with the facts, make sure you point it out, alright? Sure. Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You get me? I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, Detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should all go pretty smoothly today, huh? I can only wish. January 7th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggey Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Better. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Oh! What's wrong? Nothing, it's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You was talking to me?" It was a little, well, intimidating. No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix. Oh, I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? Our trusty? So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please. Mr. Trite, whether you're fake or not, or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today. But I can already tell you I'm the real Phoenix Wright. I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I intend to find out. There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another. As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial, nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial. I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said, trust me. Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness. Oh. Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation? Witness, state your name for the court. Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. The name's Police Department Detective. Occupation, Gumshoe. Other way around, Detective. Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of the case since yesterday, sir. Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation's tied up with another case now. I hope Gumshoe's really got everything under control, for everyone's sake. I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline the court the basic facts of the case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elk. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Inc., a local company. This is the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts this into evidence. Thank you. And here are the floor plans of the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. The poisoned coffee was brought over to him by the waitress. The waitress being the accused, Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. John Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo. It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Come, detective, take up this hammer and nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands. Let me check the autopsy report real quick. He died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m. And then anything else? Ex-victim seed. Okay. Got it. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony. Yes, sir. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy Glenn Elk was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup, and what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And, it looks like Miss Bird might have had, well, some kind of a motive. Using the dark or aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady. The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but... Yes? Please, no intimidation tricks this time around, is that understood? I already told you that wasn't me! Judge, please, I'm fine. Everything's fine. This is a normal trial. Can I stop you for just a minute? Huh? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? He's so desperate for that to be true, he's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match with the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said. And I... What killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction? Hey! Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, it's true. Their 2 testimonies tie up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? I'm a little scared. Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscured in some way. Ha! That argument is as weak as the coffee at Très Bien, Wright. I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me. Yes, a one-way ticket to Guiltyville. Population, the defendant. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place, correct? Oh shoot, that's the wrong voice. I think that was the judge. I think the court will agree that such a clear view of the scene of the crime. How, Mr. Wright, could anyone have overlooked a second person at the table? It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. Great. Okay. He was listening to his radio, you say? Yeah, he had a portable radio in his chest pocket. Maggey told us that too, didn't she? Something about how one of them had some sort of earpiece. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? And what was it that the victim was listening to on the radio, Detective Gumshoe? Huh? How should I know? Thanks a lot. We're now one step closer to the middle of nowhere. This isn't going very well, is it? Detective, could you perhaps tell us about the poison and how it was used? So, traces of the poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else? Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid, or was it a powder? If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance. So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper. Ha! Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee, Wright? The victim took his coffee black with no sugar. It seems that the poison could have only been in the coffee. What should I do? Should I press him on this point a little harder or not? Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee? Huh? What do you mean? According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it? Oh, hey, you're right! That's what I was thinking. In case you were wondering, that last objection was for the detective there. Huh? For me? Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, if you have the time to present that piece of evidence. That piece, sir? Yes, that piece. What piece was it again? This. What the frick? That wasn't that. What did I do? Should I be grateful this coffee is only hot enough to give you first-degree burns? Oh, now I remember. This is the victim's coffee cup. Yes, the victim's cup. Take a good look at the rim. Oh, yes, it's unmistakable. There is clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in this cup. The victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought to him. Like this! Oh! For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants. Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance. Potassium cyanide. I've heard of that chemical before. Exactly how strong is this poison, Detective Gumshoe? It's, well, that stuff's lethal. Eat too much in your history. How much is too much? A lethal dose is 0.2 grams. That's about enough to finish anyone off. 0.2 grams? How much is that? You know when you swab your ears for earwax? Yeah, about that much. Earwax, huh? Sounds like something Gumshoe's got an abundance of. Such a small quantity of poison could have been concealed anywhere. Some kind of a motive? Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion. You know what my golden rule is, Detective. Check out a bad cup of coffee. You can always get another. Huh? I don't get it. I'm saying we can always get another witness on the stand if we had to truck you out. So stick with the facts, Detective. Now then, what was Miss Bird's motive? Come on, Gumshoe. They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday, too. It disappeared from the scene of the crime. And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000. Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one. Then is it possible Maggey stole the winning one? What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Wait a minute! The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client. Ha! I have here in my hand the very ticket in question. That's the $500,000 lottery ticket! One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. What? Order, order! Ha! She's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress. You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately. I better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial too, but it feels heavier now somehow. $500,000, you say? It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. I bet he wants to say it was found on Maggie's person. That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which she is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit this crime. I like an old man who knows the score. There is also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money even I might be tempted to bend the rules. I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren call of money. Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggey is starting to pile up fast. Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance with one final decisive piece of evidence. He's got more evidence against Maggey? This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time. Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've ever seen. That stain looks like... It can't be blood, can it? Ha! It seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. The coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more. Something else? I presume you mean... Of course, I'm referring to the pocket. The pocket? A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by her killer was in her apron pocket. A bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket? Yeah, and Maggie's prints were the only ones on it. What? Order! This court will accept these items into evidence. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Cadeau. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain. You don't need to be told. Just look at it. Well, detective, could this stain really be blood? No way, sir. It's just ketchup. Ketchup? She must have gotten some on her apron while taking some of their breakfast that day. You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe. Pull a stunt like that again and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness. I thought everyone knew what it was already. I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last verdict I ruled on this case. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence. They have all been clearly established. Well, Wright, it seems you really are a phony after all. You really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Maggey had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him, but we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggey was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. Missing from the crime scene? You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer, Wright. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one. So, let the fun begin. Was there anything else missing? 225. What could be missing? Sports paper, Jean's loan contract, scooter. Okay. Poor Maggey had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him, but we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggey was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. So the $500,000 lottery ticket and the bottle of poison were accounted for. Yeah. Interesting. It's true that those two items are accounted for, but wasn't there another lottery ticket that was stolen that day? Oh yeah. The one that the restaurant owner took. He won a whole dollar with it. What a lucky guy, huh? And they're just going to let him get away with it? It was just $1, detective. I guess no one cares when it's that little, unless it's Gumshoe. If I don't find a hole in this testimony, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. Gumshoe isn't giving us anything to work with, and we can't find any contradictions if he doesn't give us something. Yeah, that's true. But Maggey and Gumshoe are like Dumb and Dumber. Our only hope is that they were so dumb they missed something obvious. Come on, Gumshoe, be the dumbest you've ever been! But the defendant had been passed out for a while, correct? In that case, isn't it possible someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket? Hey, yeah, you nailed it, pal! It happens to me all the time. We had a department party the other day, and when I got home, I was wearing the boss's shoes. Keep up this crazy testimony, detective, and those shoes will end up down your throat. Sorry. So trite. Someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket. That's a pretty bold statement. Care to back it up with some evidence? Well, I'd love to, if I have any. It appears you have no evidence to support your theory, Mr. Wright. Continue with your testimony, witness. Wait a sec. Huh? Did I say something dumb again? Let me paraphrase what you just testified to this court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes? Yeah, basically. In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly? Oh, that. He's so let down, he's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes thing going. There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with a lottery ticket. It seems Mr. Glenn Elk visited his doctor before he went to Trebian. We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doctor prescribed them the meds. That's a reliable enough source for the court. What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask to hear more? Oh, okay. So what sort of medicine was in the bag? Well, actually, the bag we found was empty. Huh? Yeah, completely empty. It was completely empty. Oh, okay. Ha! Okay. You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence? Desperate, aren't you, Wright? Now, what happened with the investigation after that, detective? Empty paper bag. There we go. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There is just one small contradiction in your testimony. Oh, finally! I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will ya? You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Trebian. Where then did the medicine disappear to? You are too cool, pal! Indeed! Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh? The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been lethal poison itself. Order, order! Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that? Ha! That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New Ear Otolaryngological Clinic. Otolaryngological? What kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Elk found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on was it It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? It's mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, here it is, in very, very fine print. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of this medication while he was at Trebian. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would not have eaten his medication. It seems that his medication is irrelevant to the case after all. No.
Nick, if you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over.
She's right. But I can't get away with any old weak objection. What should I do? I have a feeling I know what it is, but we don't have that evidence. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Trebian. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal. That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth. You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. That's enough. Mr. Godot, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godot? I got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. Is the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder. Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial, and that is something that bothers me.
Yay! Good job, Nick!
The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. Ha! I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess. Whew! January 7th, 11:03 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1.
Phew! That was close.
Tell me about it. I nearly died in there.
That's my line, sir! No, it's my line! I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe! How could he betray us like that?
Huh?
He said he'd help me. But he totally set me up!
I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right?
It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But it really hurt me this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again.
Poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo. Lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds.
I bet he's going to be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know.
Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me. Even those never-ending bird seeds. January 7th, 11:15 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 4. And that's where I'm going to stop for today. Roll the end card.
Objection! You haven't hit like and subscribe yet. Hold it! You forgot to ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload. Take that! Click here to watch more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.